I'm excited.
Yeah.
You guys think we should? Oh, great. Okay. Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. Welcome to everybody watching from Rainetta's channel. Rainetta is a really good friend of mine. I saw her on James Brink's show like a couple years ago, and then I asked her to come on my show, and we've done like 8 or 10 shows now, together, and she keeps coming out with amazing information. If you don't know about Rainetta, she talks about like the secret space program, Inner Earth, Rock Akasha, technology, she's an amazing person. I'm really happy to have her here today. Rainetta, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
Hey, Rob. Thank you so much for having me on again, everyone. Thank you for joining us early in the morning, if you're on close to the West Coast, I should say. So today what I wanted to do was I wanted to show people how to prove the secret space program exists and how to prove that you're in a secret space program. Okay. The
Wow.
reason why I did this is, because I saw a post online, and I'm not here to discredit anyone's credibility. I'm not doing that. But I saw a post online and the guy was asking, he was asking for proof. And I believe that he has a right to proof, And I saw some of the people literally discrediting Phil Schneider. And I'm like, but Phil Schneider had alien medals.
Yeah.
He had laser, like his fingers were lasered off. He had laser burns on his chest. He had government clearance, IDs. He showed all of these things. And I'm watching people discredit Phil Schneider. And I'm like, one of the most amazing things that made me realize that Phil Schneider was real was that Phil Schneider said that his dad during World War II was, he ran the Nazi U-boats and he got picked up by the US Navy in the Americas. And when I heard him say that, I said, oh my God, that's Operation Newland. And Operation Newland was where the Nazis were using the Gulf of Paria. Most people don't know that the Nazis were literally sinking supply lines of Great Britain and the United States, and they were using the Gulf of Paria, which is off the coast of a tiny island called Trinidad. Okay, and the British turned over the military base to the United States, and the United States was able to then push the Nazis out of the Caribbean from taking over the Americas. So when I heard Phil Schneider say that his dad was picked up in the Americas as a U-boat specialist, I said, oh my goodness, this guy is the real deal. That's Operation Newland. And most people don't know that Operation Newland actually occurred, right? So I'm reading the comments and I'm like, I'm hearing people saying, I'm literally hearing people saying that, oh, Phil Schneider was a fraud. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, people with no proof saying that Phil Schneider with proof is a fraud. So I reached out to the guy and I said, hey, listen, I said, I don't know about anybody else. I said, but I can prove the secret space program exists. I said, I could also prove that the secret undersea program exists because not everyone is going in space. A lot of them are being trained under the sea in preparation for space. My only problem with the undersea program is that the actual frequency that I found coming from my body from deep under the sea, there were several of them. I can't find those frequencies anymore. So I won't be able to tie out those frequencies to the Navy and those frequencies coming off the sea, under the seabed, as deep as the Mariana Trench. Now I know the signal that comes from the Mariana Trench because they found it from the chip in my ankle, right? which was blown out. Those are the videos. Those videos are on my social media page on Rumble. You can go look at those videos, right? Where he's blowing out the chip in my ankle. That chip in my ankle was connected to the Mariana Trench via the signals intelligence. And
Wow.
yeah, you would think, do you know how deep the Mariana Trench is? The Mariana
It's
Trench
deep.
is 7 miles. Yeah, it's
And
7
can I say
miles.
something, Rainetta?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a lot of USOs that go. That's a deep connection with what they call, with what ufologists call USOs, the undersea
yeah.
UFOs, that they just transition seamlessly from air to sea. That you can
Yes.
see them. There's footage of it. It's amazing. So that's probably where they're going. Places like off Catalina Island in California. I know there's a big
Yeah.
place where they go, and the Mariana Trench is another one. They probably have bases under there, right?
Yeah, they have bases under there. I can tell you they have bases inside mountains because most people don't realize that under the sea is just a whole bunch of mountains. The mountains you
Yeah.
see on the surface is basically what covers under the sea. And then you have things like trenches. Like I showed the live stream where I found Horus's base. I found Horus, the god, the Egyptian god Horus. His base is in the Caribbean. Hathor's base, his wife, is in the Caribbean off the coast of Puerto Rico. Seth's base is off the coast of Mexico, off the coast of Mexico and California. Funny enough, Seth, the Temple of Seth from Michael Aquino, and boy, do I have a story about Michael Aquino myself, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But, you know, the Temple of Seth is in California, in Presidio. I don't know if it's still operational, but Set, the Egyptian god, Set's base is off the coast of California, Mexico. Not only that, there's also another several bases, undersea bases, off the the eastern border, mainly New York, New Jersey, Virginia, all the way down to South Carolina, North Carolina, but mainly New York and New Jersey. New York, New York
I got
and
a question, Renata. This is more like surface level that a lot of people know. But okay, so like when people ask me about the secret space program, and they're like, "What proof do you have it?" I'm like, "Well, look, there was this guy." I said his name's Gary McKinnon, and I said, "If you don't know about Gary McKinnon, he hacked into the Navy's computers. He found that we have, some kind of craft, and he
right.
found that he specifically said non-terrestrial officers." I thought that was fascinating. So it's like, I know it's kind of like surface level truth, but
Yeah.
it's still important. Do you agree with those findings?
Of course, but it's way deeper than that. What I'm trying to show the individual today, because people have to understand that when you start talking about UFOs and secret space programs, don't even get me started on the undersea programs, which I keep telling people it's more likely that you went under the sea first before you went to space, unless they have you in a holographic simulation. Okay, because not a lot of people talk about the holographic overlays of being under the sea and being in space. That's a whole other dimension that people don't want to go into. So this is how you distinguish between the holographic simulation, where they are simulating that you're in an undersea program, or they're simulating that you're in a secret space program. The difference is, I'm going to lay it out and show you step by step how you prove that you're in this program. And the reason why I have to do this is because it gets rid of that giggle factor where people laugh at you and call you crazy, okay? And it also puts a stop to people labeling victims who are victims of these secret space programs, labeling them insane. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people, I'm like, if you're going to make a claim, you have to back up that claim with facts, right? And I said, if you're not bringing facts, you can't just expect the public to believe you. You're following what I'm saying? Even though there's a lot of, even though disclosure, and they've taken over the disclosure community, much like they've taken over the truther community and railroaded it into, now the only truth is this one particular religion, one savior. They've taken over the truther community, so there's no more truth. Forget it. It's all propaganda. Now they've taken over the disclosure community, and they're going to disclose for the next 500 years, even though I am telling you, if you survive past 2025, you will be going to space. That's what's coming.
And what I wanted to add, Rainetta, is what I think is going on too is I think a lot of people discredit the SSP community, and I'm not saying I do this because I have all the experiencers on my show, and I give them a platform to talk. So, but I'm still discerning too, and I'm not calling anybody out or saying anything, but I think where people question this is, a lot of times with experiencers, we just have stories. There's people like you and Tony Rodriguez and Arkeem and a couple other, and my friend Nate. There's people that have proof about. You have proof, and Tony, you guys have real solid proof. I would say you guys have maybe the best proof, and Daryl James has really good proof. Penny Bradley. But then there's a lot of people. I'm not calling anybody out. So I don't want anybody to get mad at me or anything like that. But we have a lot of stories, right? And I think that's done on purpose. Number one, it's because they don't want people finding out, and these are bleed through memories, that people are having. So, and I'll let you respond to that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna tell you. And this is what I was trying to tell, like James and stuff. I said, there are obviously...
James has a lot of evidence too. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
Yeah, no, James is for me, James is the foremost person when it comes to these programs, except for the one guy that I knew, he's dead. And he was the one who helped me to understand that the government had me in a secret program. I didn't believe him. He was the first ultra. But he was for terrestrial warfare. He was close to 7 foot tall, blonde hair, drop dead gorgeous. And the government just basically threw him in Rochester, University of Rochester. And his brain implants are similar to mine, right? But to answer your question, now we know there are frauds. And this is why I'm trying to show people who are making these claims, individual people, how they can go about getting the base. Okay, before you tell people that you're in these programs, you got to lay a foundation. Okay, you got to lay a solid foundation. And I'm going to show people the solid foundation to prove without a doubt these programs exist and how they do it. Now, the second thing is the first are frauds. The second thing is the proof. And this is the third thing we must differentiate, which they don't do. They allow people to tell their stories, which is great, but you need to differentiate between holographic overlays, that is simulation, sims, where they simulate that you're under the sea in a training program, or you are in space in a holographic simulation, right? That is totally different from actually being put into these programs. And that's where we're going to start. Can we get started?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Are you going to screen share? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to start with screen sharing.
Okay. Wow. It popped up. There we go.
Okay.
I'm excited for this. It's amazing.
Yeah, we have to get rid of that giggle factor. Okay. So step one, right? If anyone wants this document, I could just email it to them. Step one, this is how I was able to prove. And notice I was very careful not to come out and say, hold on, let me make this bigger, that I was in the secret space program until I had evidence. Okay, step one, let's see here, right? Okay, good. Full screen mode. 1 second here, always show ribbon. Full screen mode. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so step one is if you were in the secret space program, they are going to chip you. Even if they consider you low-level asset, or sorry, if you're in the undersea program, which most people don't talk about, and I believe I was in the undersea program, and I know one of the things they did, I was a prolific swimmer, is that they locked onto the left hemisphere of my brain so that I don't remember how to swim. Why would they do that? I mean, I grew up in the Caribbean, swimming in the ocean. How on earth don't I remember how to swim? Why? Because the memory of swimming is going to unlock the programs. Did you guys catch that? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way I do my streams is I'm interactive with my audience, right? So I'm gonna ask you guys questions and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people just like to share information. Me, I'm interactive. I want you to see you guys participating because I want to know you got this information, right?
Yeah, it's early, so we want to make sure everybody's alert, right?
Yeah.
Including myself.
Right. That's okay. That's good. Right. So step one is you need to understand if you're in these programs, you're gonna have either a MEMS implants, which are military implants. It's spelled MEMS. Okay, MEMS. These are run by the Pentagon. You cannot convince me that you're gonna be in these very expensive programs. The government is gonna put you in these expensive programs and then they're not going to chip you? No. Even if you're working as a slave on Mars, they're going to chip you. Why? Because that's money. Okay? So the type of implant that they're going to put you in is called MEMS. MEMS. These are military microchips. The second one, this is where like people like Elon Musk and Peter Thiel come in. They're called robotics. Okay? Robotics implants. This is the second layer of implantation. So you have MEMS, which is military, and military is basically full spectrum dominance of your brain, and then they're monitoring and controlling your movements, right? Then you're going to have robotics. Then you're going to have bionics. Okay? So MEMS, robotics, bionics. What are bionics? Bionics are the type of systems that they put, this is military, mainly military put in bionics. Why would they put in a type of implant called bionics into your system? Because they're building an augmented human, right? So humans that could do those superhuman feats. So MEMS, robotics, bionics. Then you have Y-bands. Y-bands are wireless body area networks. But the networks, and I'm going to show you the networks in my body, the networks have to be controlled by something. The MEMS, bionics, robotics have to be controlled by something. Okay? The networks.
I gotta trust it. I know my friend Tommy Edwards. I know you know him. He comes on my show. He's been saying that like they're using a lot of the W band to target people now, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, if you're targeted, and I keep telling people targeting is the first phase because they call it's a targeting. No. It's a trafficking program. And I'm going to show you the system of trafficking, both on Earth and in space and under the sea. Okay, I'm going to show you today in the presentation, right? Okay, so I hope you guys are following. Is that okay, Rob?
That's fine. Yeah, this is awesome. I'm excited, and I gotta promote the hell out of this. I think everybody needs to see this. I just texted my friend Sal. I said you got to get on this, like, because this is good stuff. Like this is really good. I hope a lot of people tune in.
Yeah, I hope so too. Right. So the main implants that they're going to put in, the system that they're going to put into SSPs, that secret space program. SUPs, that secret undersea program, which is they go undersea first to train you, then they catapult you in space. There's no two ways about it. I'll prove it to you, right? Is the bionics. You see, people don't talk about bionics because they don't know. Someone who's been in the program, did the research, The bionics implants, this is where you get your Peter Thiel, this is where you get your Elon Musk. Elon Musk is rolling out these robots. That's robotics. But when the robots start doing superhuman feat, the technology changes from robotics to bionics. Okay? Bionics is the main system that's used for super soldiers. Now, the bionics has to be controlled by something. Okay? So bionics is just a system they put in your body, get you to do the superhuman feat. But you got to be controlled. They don't want you turning around and then wiping out the government and they can't stop you. That's where you get your BACs. your body area controllers, right? Right. Now, how do you prove, step one, how do you prove that you have robotics, MEMS, bionics, W-bands, W-bands, WBACs? Do you have the NACs? That's the nanos, that's the nanotech, which is the new thing now, but the nanotech can't control you as much because you can flush it out of the body much faster. The nanotechs, they're powerful. Then you have pico and femtotech implants. But the thing with this, the smaller they get, the easier it is to bind to it and remove it from the body. This is why they need the body area controllers, right? So step one, you need imaging. You need to prove that there are foreign objects in your body. Okay, some of the imaging that you can get, and you can get this even because most of the people in the program have been disabled by the government, disabled by the military, they're disabled, but they're not getting benefits of a soldier. Okay, because remember, the program is still secret. So if you have any type of health insurance, you can petition to get an MRI, a CT scan, X-ray, ultrasound, and tomography scan. Sorry, I forgot about that one. The best one is a tomography scan. Tomography scans.
What is a tomography scan? I know what all those other things are, but yeah, but what is a tomography scan?
Tomography scan, all these are imagings. Like you go to the doctor and you run an MRI. It's the same thing. It's just a different type of imaging where you can literally see the tissue. It looks real. Okay, whereas MRI, CT scans, X-rays, they look like black and white.
Yeah.
Okay, tomography scans are like high definition. You could pick up the tissue, you could see the tissue, and you could see what's in there. So the best one for finding foreign objects in the body is a tomography scan. And a tomography scan, I think it runs like outside of the US, it's like $200. Inside of the US, you can't just get it like that. You got to get a prescription. Now, I would not tell a doctor, do not tell a doctor, I need a tomography scan because there's something in my body. No, you go, oh, you play stupid. You guys following what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to say something's wrong with you.
Yeah. Oh, and what's the problem? There's something here. You got what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I feel this pain here. Okay, let's run an MRI. You following what I'm saying? And if the MRI is inconclusive, meaning we didn't find anything, but there's something here. I don't know why. But don't go to the doctor. I'm telling you guys the law. Do not go to the doctor and say you're in pain. The US government, the HHS, secretly changed the law. Do not go to a hospital and say you're in pain. Please take my advice because people don't listen. The US government secretly changed the law and classified pain as a mental illness. So pain is no longer the body signaling that something's wrong. They classify pain now as a mental illness. They will kidnap you. They will lock you away for 3 days because they did it to me. And they will label you insane. But me, they had to let go. And I'm not going to go into that story. And they were like, okay, you're not insane, but Apple, you need to get over Apple stealing your work. That's what they said to me, right? All right, so now let's go into the proving phase. So I gave you the type of scans, MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds are the best. Ultrasounds are really good if you are a female, you get abducted, you get taken 9 times out of 10. Listen to me carefully. They are not going to take eggs from you without a chip in your vagina. They're not going to take eggs from you or abduct you as a female into a breeding program without setting up a body area network in your vagina. It's not happening. Men, if you're using a breeding program and they're taking semen, they are not going to take your semen without putting chips in your testicles. Okay, so this is why you need the scans, right? So let's get started with, let me show you how I proved it. Okay, imaging. This is my brain. Okay, This is not a normal brain. You see these white dots here? You see this here? This is
Yeah.
not calcium, people. Dot, 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 dot. That's not calcium. Let me zoom in. You guys seeing?
That's
This is
amazing.
why imaging is so important. Okay? You find the foreign object and some of the chips, let me tell you right now, because I had professionals look at it. Some of the chips do not show up as white. You guys following me? Some of the chips do not show up as white, they show up as gray matter, or they show up darker, a little bit gray, a little bit black, kind of like this area, what this area looks like. You guys following?
I'm following. Yeah.
Yes, Libby, you got it. Terra Ma. Yes, yes, yes. That was an undersea trafficking program. And if you listen to this guy, I forgot his name, he was telling you what they were doing undersea. Also look into, if you don't believe me, the secret undersea program exists, look into the Chinese undersea Atlantis. China's undersea Atlantis. If you don't believe me, there's a secret undersea program, right? So this is an MRI of my brain. Are you guys seeing this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
you guys see the white dots?
Yes.
Okay, do you guys see? Look at this one. Do you see this? This is not normal. Look at what's at the top of my brain. See that?
Oh my God, that's an implant, right?
That's an implant. But remember what I said, not all of them show up as white, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see the next one. All right, look at this one. Do you see this behind my ear?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see the white dot coming up behind my ear? That's what you call a sensor. Okay? You guys caught that? Here, sensor here, right? Because what is a sensor? A sensor literally detects, and this one is not for detecting, but for auditory. So for those of you who are complaining about V2K, now they can do V2K without sensors or transceivers, okay? This is the basis at the back of my head for Neuralink. So all of you who are praising Elon Musk, look behind my left ear. Okay,
That's
see that
shit.
bright
That's
white dot?
crazy. That's crazy. They chip.
Neuralink.
Oh, wow.
Okay, this one here. Look at this one here. See this one here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my God.
These are sensors. The sensors, and the one behind my ear is a transceiver, which is part of the Neuralink setup, right? Why is this important? Because it's the sensors, the body area network, right, that sends the information to the BAC, body area controllers. If you have a MEMS system, it's a similar system, but the MEMS are run by the military. Robotics and bionics are MEMS are, yes, MEMS are military and medical. Robotics and bionics are corporations because many, and military, which is a corporation, and many of the SSPs say it's these galactic corporations, and it's true. But I'm showing you how they set up the networks in the body, right? Okay, this is a much better photo. Do you see it?
I see it clear as day. It's insane. I can't believe. Tiffany had a question. Tiffany says, I'll just ask this real quick. She says, I put it up on the screen too. She says, does Rainetta sense anything from these sensors like sound waves? Does she feel them?
Oh yeah. When I was connected to the grid, and what they do is once it's in your body, you're connected to the grid. I'm going to show you guys how the secret space program works. I'm just going to show you the whole lay. You got to be connected on the earth, then underground, then under the sea, then up into space. You're not going to space without them taking you under the sea.
Why is that? Why is that? I should probably,
because the sea is where they do the training.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where they run the simulations in order to see who's fit for survival. And the reason why I think most SSPs don't talk about the sea is because they damage the part of the brain that can make you remember. I'm a Caribbean girl. I used to swim in the sea all the time. Do you know that I literally don't remember how to swim? I'm like, what? Then the last time I went underwater, I literally opened my eyes and I saw myself at the foot of a pyramid under the sea off the coast of Japan called Yonaguni. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was the memory I had the first time I went underwater since I left the Caribbean as a child, 14. I have never been underwater from 14 years until 2 years ago. And when I went underwater 2 years ago, literally, I had a flashback. I was under the sea at the base of a pyramid off the coast of Japan. I knew exactly where I was. Okay. All right. So you see the gray matter? That's a chip. See what I said to you? It doesn't always look white. That's a chip. And I had a professional say, that gray matter in there, that's not normal. Okay. Okay, this is where it gets really horrible.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry you had to deal with this, Rainetta. Is this what every super soldier has too? Is this every super soldier?
Yeah, like, you're all gonna have it. They're all gonna have it. And this is what I'm telling you guys to do to prove. Anyone telling you that you can't prove that you're a super soldier, they're very naive. They're either a scammer or they're ignorant. You can prove these things. You can prove these things. And I'm going to show you the layers of proof. Okay, so this, you see this here? This here is the wiring for the Neuralink. See it? Look at this here. Does this look normal to you?
No, it definitely doesn't look normal.
When the neurologist saw this image, she literally turned red, started crying, quit working, and ran away. I kid you not.
I'm sorry. I can't believe that. That's insane. I mean, I probably would too. She probably didn't know. She probably didn't know what she was looking at. You know what I mean?
She didn't know. And let me tell you what they did. They sent her the image of a young child's brain that was perfect. And I said to her, but that's not my brain. She goes, no, it's your name here. I gave her the CD. I said, this is the CD of the imaging with my brain. So she goes and she puts it in her computer and her whole face turns red. Tears started welling up in her eyes. And she goes, I can't do this. I can't do this. A neurologist. Then the next week when I went to go back for the report, they said she no longer works here.
Wow.
When she saw this image.
This is some heavy shit, man. This is the real deal.
Yeah, don't let anyone tell you can't prove these programs. Okay, this is a better image of what the whole Neuralink system looks like. Do you see the wire up here? That is not headphones, my dear. See that?
Oh my God. You're probably receiving all kinds of signals. Like, so how do you like survive on a daily basis? Like, what do you, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, like, what are you experiencing? Like, I mean, you have to be experiencing.
It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. But now for some reason, they're shutting it down. Okay, here's another wire.
Yeah.
Optical nerve. This is in the eye. The junction of the optical nerve and the sinus right here. Here, wire. Right at the center. Okay, this is the eye. This is the nose right here. See that? That's a chip.
Oh my God.
Yep. Sensor, a sensor. Okay. This is the sensor that controls the air. You can see the wiring back here. Okay. Look at here, another one, and this one you saw before. And look at this one. No, magnets don't blow these things out. I've been there, done that with magnets. No. Detoxing doesn't blow it out. Okay, let's get to, this is my pelvic area. Okay, you see that little white spot in the middle?
Yeah.
That's the body area controller. That
Oh my God. They put it in your
that
pelvis?
no, they put it up my vagina. It was my gynecologist that did it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The one that my dentist put, I went to go get it. It fell out finally, right? And I went to go get it analyzed by this guy who was helping me. They broke into the hotel, stole it, never saw it again. You see? This is up my vagina. You see the white, the hazy white here?
Yeah.
That's the body area controller. Okay? Okay, now, these are the other systems in the brain. This is much better imaging, right? You see the the 5 white dots?
Yeah.
See it? Okay, this is what you call a chip. See that? It looks like a grain of rice. That's a chip. The rest are sensors, right? The structure of how they put it tell you what program you're in.
And I guess these chips and sensors, they interface with the brain. That's how advanced our
Yeah,
body is. Like they can actually, they have biologic. These are biological, right?
yeah, they
they'll,
are.
they'll
That's why
interface
it's so
with the brain.
hard. Yeah, that's why it's so hard to detect and so hard to dismantle, because they're making them now more biological than synthetic. You see,
Yeah.
so the victim would know, hey, there's something wrong with my body. So, but when they go to the imaging will just be like, hey, that's just calcium deposits. It's not calcium.
And do you believe that this is alien technology? Like
Yeah, it is. It
it
is.
started with, you know, because remember the old school alien abductions, they would implant
Yeah.
people, and those were starting to become biological as well. That's what
Yes,
that reminds
absolutely.
me of.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the whole system of implantation is the interface with entities. You understand? Interface
Yeah.
with entities, either for them to get reconnaissance, so that way you can infiltrate, okay? Or, sorry, you're a high level asset to them. You go out and you do missions, or slavery. For me personally, to me, I feel like this was to get my DNA, to get genetic sampling from me, and most importantly, to get eggs. Okay, eggs, because that was one of the most important thing for them, my eggs, and because of genetics, right?
Yeah.
What they consider, and that there's a whole faction that believes in this whole genetic superiority bullshit, and I'm like, no, it's just differentials. Groups of genetics are just different.
Yeah.
But there are entities who believe in genetic superiority. But one of the most important thing about this image is the way the sensors and the chip. This one is a grain of rice. These are sensors. You see when they're round dots like that, those are sensors. Okay, they act like chips. This is a chip. The chip is a rice grain. But 9 times out of 10, they're not going to put a chip in you because it's too obvious. They'll put a sensor. Now, the layout of this sensor tells you what program you're in. And I was told that by the number one guy, the first guy that the US government / military used to build as a super soldier. But he was built for Earth warfare. His name was John Storm. He's dead now. But I can show you guys the conversation. I have to go into my Facebook and find the conversation. Let me show you guys his imaging. Hold on. Let me see, because it's important. I didn't pull it up, but I'm going to show you his imaging versus mine, right? Hold on here. Let's see this one. John Storm. Okay, let me show you his. All right, so you see, this is my brain, right? His name is John Storm. He was the first super soldier. He's dead now. This is his brain. You see, he has the exact same implants. See,
Wow.
one here, one here, one here, exact same. This is what he said
I
about
never
me.
heard about John Storm. Was he outspoken, or did he kind of just
Yeah, he was the first. He died right when COVID started. And he would have been, if you want to understand super soldiers and proving it would have been him. Because he was brilliant too. Let me tell you what he said, right? So he saw my images. This is in 2017. He told me this, and I didn't believe him because I didn't have the, I was like, oh my God, no way, I don't believe any of this stuff. But he was the first prototype that was used as a super soldier, and they used him in Vietnam. He was trained for like jungle warfare. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. He said, and psionic missions, like psychic battles, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And tracking creatures. Right. So John Storm, you can go look him up, and you can find his old videos. This is what he says.
Yeah.
Besides myself,
what's interesting is there's people don't talk about this. I heard there was a lot of creatures in Vietnam. Like I heard there might have been some big spiders, and there might have been some mantids too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because a portal opened, and I think that's another thing that they're doing in the Congo, and they're exterminating the people in the Congo, and no one's talking about it. 30 million of them were exterminated by people I can't mention, by one guy I can't mention, and many have said they're trying to open up a portal, to bring these entities into the Congo, and they also do a lot of genetic experimentation on Congolese people, and then they just wipe them out, So yeah, they're doing this. Yeah, and this is what that whole migrant crisis. I mean, it's a mess. But they only talk about Ukraine, and I'm like, they've been doing this to the Haitians, they've been doing this to the Congolese, they've been doing this to the Sudanese, and now they want to do it to the South Africans again because the South Africans have a distinct genetics, right? All right. So besides myself, this is what he says. I know a couple other known ultras. So it wasn't called super soldiers originally; they were called ultras, who have the implant behind the left ear. Both of us have it. And the base of the skull. Besides my own, yours is also the first one I've seen with the nano attachment at the junction of the optical nerve behind your nose. We both have this one, this sensor, right? Watch this. A lot of abductees, my labs, also have the left ear and base of the skull implants. So he's telling you guys, he's telling you guys how you prove this stuff, right? Okay, so let's see here.
Yeah, a lot of targeted individuals have something behind the left ear too. That's what Tommy has. He has a scar behind his ears. Like, why is that? What are they doing with the ears? Like,
yeah, that's for the to hear. They need to be able to communicate with you, and you communicate with them. I'm going to show you the layout of his tech in his brain. Okay. Hopefully it's still up. Hope they didn't take it down. Let's see here. I think that one they took down. Okay, watch this one. All right. He says, the brighter the object appears on the MRI, the harder or denser the material it is made of. You can estimate how hard by the shade of your own bone and skull. The bright point is something metallic, not organic. The dark areas are significant too, depending upon where and how they occur. But I want to show you the brain, the implants in his brain. Hopefully they didn't get rid of it. I think they did. Hold on. Okay, this is his. You see how his is laid out?
Yeah.
His is laid out like that by a specialist. Mine is 5, his is 8, right? And his is 2 parallel lines. Mine is 2 parallel lines with a chip. And he said that layout tells you what program you're in.
Wow.
Understand?
Yeah. What does he know? Like, what does he know? What means what? Did he say like
let me tell you.
Program?
Yeah, let me tell you. He says here, their implants. Watch this. He is a first generation MK Ultra survivor, and he has the implants. This is his brain scan, not mine.
Yeah.
Okay. He said plus 4 more between these for a total of 8. I have 5. He has 8. Plus the biosensors going all around, right? I have good many more besides, but they're trying to make me into a super soldier. So he was MK Ultra, the first asset to be used in combat, and then they wanted to upgrade him to super soldier for space. Now, here's what he says. Here's what he says. There was another 150 sub-projects under MK Ultra since 1953. Watch what he says. I would bet that you were probably involved in one or more of these. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's saying they tell you about MK Ultra, but there were 150 sub-projects. And he was like, Rainetta, look at the chips in your head. You were involved in a program. He told me this in 2017. I was like, I don't believe any of this. You people are crazy. That's what I thought, right? So I wanted to show you guys that as proof of myself and someone else having the scans done and showing you how they lay the chips and the biosensors and the Neuralink and the nanowebs, okay? And one of the things you don't want is you don't want to be nanowebbed, okay? Let me show you something here. Now this is, I think this is an X-ray. This is an X-ray of my skull. If you look at my face, I don't have any scars on my face, okay? I'm not wearing makeup except for like eyeliner and lip gloss, right? I don't have any scars. Look at my eyes, okay? There's none. Why do I have a surgical incision here where the bone was removed over my left eye? And that is the eye where I have the problem. It's right here.
Is that where you have the cybernetics?
That's where I have the cybernetics.
Oh my God.
And the bone was put back in.
Oh my God. Wow.
You see that? Look at that. You can't tell me that this is natural because it would have been on the right eye as well. See what I'm saying?
Well,
not on the right eye.
Do you believe you were abducted and they did these augmentation surgeries on you and stuff like that?
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I was 13 years old, I went to sleep on a Thursday and woke up on a Sunday in a pool of blood. So yeah.
Wow.
Right? So watch this. So we know that the body is perfectly aligned. If something's on the left side, it's going to be on the right side, right? Why isn't this bone scar on the right side? Because they didn't augment the right side. They were augmenting the left side. And that is where they used the bionics. Bionics, that's military. That's where they use for the bionics, remote control to see through the eye. Get it?
Yeah.
Right? Let's go to the next one. Okay. So let's go here. Hold on. All right. So we got all of that. Let's go to phase 2. So phase 2 is the body scan. So after you have, so again, back to proving you're a victim of the secret space program, secret undersea program. Once you get the MRI, CT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, and tomography scans, right? You want to find the frequencies. You want to find the frequencies because the frequencies are going to tell you if you're under the FCC. Okay, many people in the secret space program say it's all corporations, and they're correct. But what they don't understand is that the corporations, in doing business, they have to go to the FCC. The FCC is the one who licenses out signals. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is that important? Yeah. Why is that important? Because if you have technology in your body, okay,
you're emitting a signal, right?
Yeah. This is how you prove on an earth level the trafficking. You get it?
Yeah.
You guys, you get it? Okay. Now, if you have stuff like MEMS and bionics, okay, which is military and certain types of corporations, you're going to go to the NTIA, right? NTIA. And the NTIA are the ones who have specific military signals. I just proved to you how you prove technological trafficking occurs. Did anyone hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is why you're not targeted, you're trafficked. Explain, Rainetta. Okay, so people in the secret space program say it's all corporations, but the corporations have to go through the government and the military in order to get access to the signals. The corporation, including the space corporations, and I'm going to prove it to you, they have to license the signals via the FCC, or it's the FCC that controls all the signals, or they would have to go through the military, which is the NTIA, to get specific frequency signals. You can't just go and just hop on the communications grid. It's illegal. The signals have to be licensed. Now, what does that mean? It means that if you have a chip in your body, step one, a corporation has to go to the FCC and the NTIA to get access to that communication bandwidth that is running through your body. So yes, the secret space program, the victims are telling the truth that it's military and corporations, but they're missing a critical factor. Where does the military and the corporations get the signals from? The FCC. They cannot use you without going through the government. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's weird because a lot of people think that like some of these SSPs are like from breakaway civilizations or like off planet, but I mean it's all Earth based too, right? It's all very tied into our government. It seems like.
Yeah. Like for example, even the ETs. The ETs can come put a chip in you without going through the government. Because the government, because the government has to know where that signal is ending up.
And who
FCC knows?
This information? Do we know who gets this information?
Two groups, FCC and TIA. Trafficking, technological trafficking, human trafficking, space trafficking, undersea trafficking, none of it can be done without the NTIA or the FCC.
Wow.
None. So
I gotta go take a leak real quick. I'll be right back. You can keep going.
Okay. So the second phase is after you get the MRI, CT scans, X-rays, ultrasounds, you need to get a body scan. The body scan is called H-scatter scan. And you gotta excuse me, I can't remember what the hell H-scatter stands for. Hold on. Let me just type it up here. H-scatter. Okay, so H-scatter, okay? Scatter is supervisory control and data acquisition, okay? So these are systems, they use scatter for buildings, but H-scatter is what they use to scan the human body, okay? For signals, okay? Is everyone there?
I'm here. I'm back.
Right? So the second part is you need an H-scatter scan to find the frequency associated with the chips, MEMS, bionics that they found in your body. Okay? Now this is my body. Let me show you how my body looks lighting up. This is all the signals, some of the signals that they found in my body. Okay? When they conducted the scan on my body was emitting in different areas between, okay, let me backtrack. The natural human body should emit 0.00 microtesla to 0.01 microtesla. My body, these are about 13 of them, my body was emitting between 0.02 to 0.04 microtesla, okay, in different parts of the body. Now, here's what's interesting. I showed you the X-rays. I just showed you the X-rays, the MRIs, the CT scans. You are seeing here that exactly what I showed you in the X-rays, the MRIs, the CT scans matches with the H-scatter scan. Boom, you just laid the program to waste. No one can say that you're not being trafficked and used by something. The third phase is The signals. You need signals intelligence, right? Hey, okay. What are the signals being emitted by Rainetta's body? Okay. So when I did the scans, let me make this bigger. Hold on. Sorry, I just need to make it bigger here so you guys can see. Okay. All right. Full screen mode. Okay. So when I did the scans, these were the signals that came off of my body. Do you notice anything peculiar? Let me make it a little bit bigger. Focus on the table. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see the screen. Okay. Do you notice anything peculiar? This is the signal in megahertz, one of them coming off my body. You translate it to gigahertz. Who runs this gigahertz?
Oh my God, NASA.
Okay. But NASA what? Continue reading.
Deep Space Network. Wow. Deep Space Network.
Where's the secret space program?
Deep space.
Oh, okay.
That's insane. I've been a lot of people probably knew that there was a NASA Deep Space Network, you know? There was, I mean, that's amazing. Like, wow.
Did I just prove to you that I'm in some sort of deep space network?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Let me say it again. This is one of the signals by the investigator coming off my body in megahertz. Okay? This is it in gigahertz. This is who that network, that frequency, this is who uses that frequency. NASA Deep Space Network, and it's an S-band frequency. I'm going to show you the military aspect, and when I show you the military aspect, you're going to say, Rainetta, oh my God, this is the secret space program. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is, let's see here. I'm going to open some links so we can do some reading. So you see I'm not making any of this up, right? Give me a second here. Okay, so we see here, watch this, S-band. Okay, that's the band, that's the range, okay, of these signals, S-band, okay? Okay, so Rainetta, what's this S-band, okay? That's radar, okay? S-band utilizes the microwave band in the electromagnetic spectrum, which ranges from 2 gigahertz to 4 gigahertz. I am at 2.56 gigahertz. Who controls my body? One of them, NASA.
Yeah.
Not just NASA. What area of NASA?
Deep space.
Deep space. Okay. All right, let's continue, right? Hold on. All right. The most notable S-band radar is it is less susceptible to atmospheric attenuation, right? There's a specific part that I'm looking for, and I think S-band radar. Okay. We don't really need that, but let's go here. S-band designation. I want to show you the link so you see that I'm not making it up. Okay, here. Let me just open this link here. This one is really good. This one is going to blow your mind. Okay. All right. So no one could say that I'm making it up. Let's start from the top. State-of-the-art small spacecraft technology. What are we proving today?
Secret space program.
Okay. And in order to go to space, what do you need?
Craft. Wow.
Okay. This is NASA.
This is on NASA's site? Oh my God.
This is on NASA's site. I'm going to show you my body in NASA's grid. Okay. All right. So we see state of the art, small spacecraft technology. This is small spacecraft technology. Let's go to introduction, the frequencies communications. Let's go there. Frequency communications, you can read that. Now, the frequency bands. Now, I need to know, Rainetta, you're making this whole thing up. You are not on NASA's frequency band. Okay, so these are the frequency bands used by NASA in small spacecraft. Satellite communications are conducted over a wide range of frequency bands. The typical bands considered for small satellites are UHF, ultra high frequencies, S band, that is between 2 to 4, right here. Radio frequency bands, S band, 2 to 4 gigahertz. Where is my body? Right in range.
Wow. This is insane. I mean, it's so wow. It's like I can't believe it. It's like wow. I mean, this is amazing. You're able to prove this is wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like lost for words. I'm never lost for words.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So anyone who's telling you you can't prove this, no. Let's get to the S band. Hold on. This is the L band. This is Keikaku. Okay, hold on here. Okay. NASA spacecraft, hold on, which use the government bands. Did you guys hear that? Remember I told you, even if it's a corporation and it's military, the frequencies are licensed out by the government. You are not being abducted, taken under sea, taken underground, human trafficked in space, under the sea, underground, without the government. And the government agency responsible for it is the FCC.
What about DARPA? What do they play? Because someone said in the chat,
DARPA builds the technology, but DARPA still has to get on the spectrum in order to use the communications grid. They still have to go through the government or the NTIA. Yeah, there's no question. Okay, right. Now watch this. You got the government. Sorry.
So there's a lot more people that are privy to these programs than we think.
Yeah.
People that know about them that just aren't saying anything. They're like, people at the FCC or
Yeah, they know. They know. FCC, NTIA. If they know, if they understand frequencies, if they're in administration, they may not know. But if they're dealing in frequencies, they know. They know. Okay, they know. Now watch this, right? Now watch this. So NASA spacecraft uses the government's S band. Now, what do they use it for? Satellite tracking, telemetry, and command is conducted over the S band. Tracking, telemetry, and command. Okay, let's look up what is satellite telemetry. Satellite telemetry is a research tool. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me zoom it. Okay. Satellite telemetry is a research tool that uses satellites to track the location of objects, such as animals, they call us animals, or satellites themselves. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
So if you have the chips in your body, they emit a frequency. Once you find the frequency in the FCC, it tells you who owns you and how they're using you. Now watch this. This particular S band is used for spacecraft, satellite, and deep space research at a distance of over, I think, 1 million light years away. I think I just proved the secret space program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Non-NASA spacecraft have access to a wide variety of underground systems, right? So we're focusing on the S-band because that's where they found my body, right? Okay, so let's
Wait,
continue.
you see what they just said? They just said non-NASA spacecraft. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
insane. Like,
non-NASA.
it's almost like they're saying there's other spacecraft out there that are like,
Yeah, that's the corporations that the SSP tell you about that may not be related to NASA. And this is why they brought out this flat earth movement. Flat earth satellites don't exist because so many people were complaining about being satellite tracked and targeted and all these things. They brought out this movement. The earth is flat. There are no satellites. None of this exists. The earth is stationary. It's a psyop, people. No, this thing is real. I'm showing you. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm showing you. Yeah, right? So let me show you where it gets even crazier. Now, this particular signal, it's 2425.392 megahertz. And as gigahertz, it's 2.43 gigahertz. Okay? This company, this satellite company, has a transceiver. My body is on the transceiver for Endurosat. You know those non-governmentals? Let's look up Endurosat. Who are these?
Yeah, I was going to say, what is Endurosat? What the hell is that?
Yeah, let's look them up. Who are these people? Okay. Endurosat AD is a Bulgarian aerospace manufacturer headquartered in Sofia.
Jesus Christ. This is insane. This goes so deep, you know?
Okay. Endurosat satellites and space missions. Let's see what they do. Making space universally acceptable. My body has an Endurosat transceiver at that frequency band. So you know how the SSP say it's all corporations. I'm proving to you it's corporations. And I'm showing you how you find the corporations. Okay, making space universally acceptable. Let's see, space service product. Let's see what they're saying here. Okay, space service redefined. Okay, more about space service. Let's see what they do, right?
Like, who knew there was all these space corporations? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we just hear about like NASA, and then we hear that like China and a couple other places. And I mean, we hear about Israel's space program and everybody else. But I mean, like, who knew there was all these like defense subcontractor, space programs, aerospace programs? I mean, that's just like, it's wild to me. It's like, and they're just right out in the open, right? But they're not out in the open with some of the things they're doing, obviously,
Nah, but this is, you got to know how to find this kind of, let me see here, Endurosat. That's what I was looking for, the about part. You got to know how to find this, okay? All right, so Endurosat is on, and yes, it's true, right? Endurosat is on a mission to transform the complex satellite industry into streamlined data. That's what the sensors are for. The sensors in your body, data, enabling instant access and transactions with space data from hundreds of sensors. What's in my body?
Sensors.
Okay, you see how they do it?
Yeah.
The sensors in space are connected to the sensors in your body, right? Oh, okay. So I wanted you guys to see that. There's something else I want you guys to see. Now, how are they using me? Okay. Now watch this. What is a transceiver? An Endurosat transceiver is a communication module designed by the company, primarily used in small satellites like CubeSats, that allows for sending and receiving data signals.
Wow. It just made me, oh man, I was thinking this had to be going on for a long time, right? This had,
Long
like,
time.
so like all this stuff with internet and data receiving, sending and stuff, this is like way beyond the 90s. Like they must have had the internet and stuff way before
Oh yeah,
they
the
ever rolled
innocent.
it out to the public, right? Like
The internet was the 50s.
the internet
Well,
was
the
the
50s that
50s.
we know about. Yeah.
Wow. Because the government's
Oh,
always like 50 years ahead, right? Is that
of
what it is?
course. Now watch this. The transceiver was used for telemetry. What's telemetry? Locating objects.
Yeah.
Okay? And telecommand functions. Okay? So I wanted you guys to see that one of the signals from my body is going straight to Europe. Okay? All right, let's take a look at this one here. We're still proving. I'm watching the time, okay? Let's see here. Bandwidth. Okay, this is really, really good. This here is
Bandwidth requirements for deep space research. Holy shit.
Okay,
Rainetta, you go hard in the paint with research. Like I mean, I don't know how you find. I mean, I guess you have to because you're a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to know, right? Like, it's like, I don't think you would be any satisfied any other way. You seem like you're a go-getter as far as like getting the information and knowing exactly what's going on. You know?
Yeah.
I love.
You know what it? I'm sorry. You know what it is? It's because there are people who call people like us crazy. And I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm trafficked. And I'm used for all sorts of research, and I'm not being paid. I wasn't put on planet Earth to be a slave.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
whoever created us, you know, whatever they want to call it, God source, he did not put people to be trafficked and slaves and like and cybernetics inside their body and sensors and chips and all this shit. Like, you know, like it's insane. And do you feel like you were like the test subjects and that's what Elon wants to eventually do is roll it out on the mass public?
Yeah, I believe I was the test subject for the coming prison industrial complex. One of them. I don't think I was the first, because I'm learning now that the implantation to create the new prison industrial complex was in the 50s, and they tested it on mainly Black people.
Yeah, because remember our show with Ace? Remember Ace?
Bingo.
If you guys don't know, for the people that are watching Rainetta's channel or my channel, you guys got to go back and watch the shows we did with Ace. He was someone who was in prison, but he fought his way out of it. But it's not just that. He has the cybernetics installed in him. He has like V2K transmission and like it's very deep. You know, like he was definitely used as like a test subject in like the prison industrial complex, right?
And I think he grew up where Huey P. Newton was from, and the CIA and the government targeted that area and turned all of the young boys into criminals.
Wow.
In order to get them into the prison to test this weapon. So one of the things they used me for, besides stealing my eggs and, you know, undersea programs, and I'm going to show you, I think, how they're using me in space programs, right? With bleed through. What is it? One of the things you have to understand is that the coming prison stop believing these fake ass truthers. Elon Musk is going to spearhead the coming prison revolution. The prison industrial complex is not going to be behind four walls. It's going to be in your body. Okay, it's going to be in your body, and the way they're going to have the prison industrial complex is with sensors and body area controllers. The nanotech is too weak and it doesn't last in the body. So that when you commit a crime or you think about committing a crime, they know in your brain there's no reason for judges. And I'm the one screaming at the judges. And the judges, we know they're all Masons, they're all judge advocate generals, JAGs, and I keep telling them they're going to make all of you obsolete. The technocracy is going to wipe out judges. The entire judiciary is going to be wiped out. Okay, police, you're going to be wiped out. Okay, and they already started like 2 years ago when they started with the defund the police. And I was the one screaming to Black people. I said, listen, they're telling you defund the police because they want to roll out the robots. And I said, once they mount a weapon on the robot, if the robot kills you, how are you going to get any justice? It's a robot. Yeah. There's no laws governing robots killing you.
They don't know any better. The robot doesn't know any better. All it knows is what it's programmed to do.
What it's programmed until the robots turn against them. But yeah, there's a lot of information I want to get to, but I need you to understand who the ITU is, my former employer. Okay? United Nations. So I'm not making this up. The International Telecommunications Union, ITU, is a United Nations agency that coordinates global telecommunications networks and services. And this is the requirement for the UN's deep space research. Okay, hold on. Link bandwidth. Hold on. I'm looking for Earth to space. This is the RF. Hold on. There's specific information in here that I need. Here we go. This is what I needed. Watch this. Link reliability and utilization of allocated bands, meaning what they use the bandwidth for and who uses them for deep space research. Okay, this is no longer satellites that are being used to monitor Earth. This is now satellites turned the other way, deep into space. So now the flat earthers are going to tell you deep space doesn't exist. Okay? But let me show you the proof that I am a part of the secret space program. I'm about to lay the hammer down. Okay?
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this today, Rainetta. This is awesome.
You're welcome. Okay, watch this. This is the ITU, which is the UN. This is their bandwidth for deep space research. Now we're getting into deep space. The foregoing section sets forth the maximum bandwidth required for the conducting of deep space research. Deep space research is over 1 million light years. So they're sending these signals on the other side of the universe. Okay? Existing allocations near 2 and 8 gigahertz cannot accommodate these maximum requirements. These allocations do, however, provide an essential capability for deep space research. Not the maximum, but the capability for them doing reconnaissance and missions deep space. Rainetta, you didn't prove anything. Watch this. Near 2 and 8 gigahertz. 2 and 8 gigahertz. Where's my body?
Deep space.
That's it. Yeah. 2.56. They said between 2 and 8 gigahertz. Am I in the middle of 2 and 8 gigahertz? Right here. 2.51. 2.43.
This is from Susan Long. I know you know Susan. She says, how do I determine the frequency to find out who's using me? She says, I know some of them. She says.
Yeah, you need the frequency allocations. You need to look at either the FCC data allocations, but you got to use the FCC data allocations around the time when you found the frequencies because they changed it. So if you found it in 2017, you got to use the FCC data allocations for I want to say 2017, but I think they took that one down, 2016, because they changed them, the FCC data allocations chart. If it's military, you want to find out, I'm going to show you right here how you find out right here. I'm going to read this one to you in a second. Okay, this is the military band, and this is where I prove that I'm a weapon. Okay, I'll show you that in a second, right? There's a reason why I'm going slow. It's because, can I answer the questions after? Is that okay?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay, all right. So I fall within NASA, okay, Deep Space Network. I fall within range for deep space research for the United Nations, 2 to 8 gigahertz. No one. And deep space research, let us Google what deep space research is, so we know exactly what deep space network, okay, and deep space research. Let me put it here. Research network, okay? Deep Space Network, DSN, is a global network of radio antennas that support interplanetary spacecraft. What? I just proved to you the secret space program. It's right there. I just proved it. Interplanetary. Do you guys see what's on the page?
Yeah. Interplanetary spacecraft. Oh my God.
Okay, let me say it again.
Okay, I just got that. It's like they're admitting NASA's. Wait, let me just read this out there, everybody, so everybody just understands what they're saying here. And this is right on Google. NASA's Deep Space Network is a global network of radio antennas that supports interplanetary spacecraft
missions.
Yeah, I mean,
don't forget the mission.
They're like admitting that they're admitting to everything right there. That they're admitting to everything. From the programs to UFOs to other planets to, what I mean?
Okay, now watch this. Watch this. The DSN is the world's largest telecommunication system supporting spacecraft missions, radio and radar astronomy, and navigation. Wait, hold on. Spacecraft missions? Where are the spacecraft missions going to? Other planets. And what's the bandwidth, Rainetta, they use? The bandwidth they use is the S band, between 2 to 8 gigahertz. I just
wow. Gina says a good point. She says the best place to hide things is in plain sight.
That's it. Okay, let me show you this one. The S-band designation, I'm going to show you how you go from being taken to other planets on secret missions to a weapon, okay? The S-band is a designation by the IEEE, which is the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, for a part of a microwave band, there goes that band again, of electromagnetic spectrum covering frequencies from 2 to 4 gigahertz, 2 to 8 for NASA, 2 to 4 gigahertz for some others, okay? Watch this. Thus, it crosses the conventional boundary between UHF and SHF, ultra high and super high frequency bands at 3.0. They're saying it's capped at 3.0 gigahertz, right? The S-band, watch this. The S-band is used by airport surveillance radar, air traffic control, weather radar, surface ship radar. Okay, where's the ship, people? Where are ships?
Interplanetary.
No, but sea. Naval ships.
Oh, naval ship, yeah.
That's on the sea, right?
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. If the Navy uses this signal for under the sea, what is the signal doing in your body?
Yeah,
Secret
exactly.
undersea programs. You guys catch that? Okay. And some communication satellites, watch this, some communication satellites, particularly satellites used by NASA to communicate with the space. Okay, guys, you can't miss this. You cannot miss this. This is where you just totally destroy anyone telling you, hold on, why all of a sudden my thing is not working? Hold on here, sorry. This is where you lay the gauntlet down, okay? Boom, watch this. And some communication satellites, particularly satellites used by NASA to communicate with what?
The space shuttle.
And what else?
International Space Station.
Okay.
And that's in your body. What's it doing in your body? That's the big deal.
And those missions go interplanetary. What does interplanetary mean, Rainetta? I'm not saying you guys are stupid, but I'm breaking it down. Travel between planets. Missions to other planets. Okay, let's continue. For those of you who get burned and tortured by your wireless devices, this is what the S-band also connects to. So they don't just hook you up in, they hook you up in, I don't know if you're gonna let me post this link, but I posted a link, right? Okay, so deep space. Let's do this one really quickly. Tracking vehicles in deep space is quite different from tracking missions in low Earth orbit. This is to prove. So anyone telling you, oh, that doesn't mean it's deep space, that's tracking the Earth. No. They define deep space. Deep space missions are visible for long periods of time from a large portion of Earth's surface and so require few stations, DSN, Deep Space Network. These few stations, however, require huge antennas, ultra-sensitive receivers, powerful transmitters in order to transmit and receive over vast distances involved. Deep space is defined in several ways. According to NASA report, deep space networks were designed to communicate with spacecraft traveling approximately 16,000 kilometers, 10,000 miles from Earth, watch this, to the farthest planets of the solar system.
Holy shit. They're admitting it. That's insane.
Yep.
That is so insane.
Yep. Okay.
Oh my God.
JPL diagrams, Jet Propulsion Labs, state that an altitude of 30,000 kilometers, 19,000 miles, a spacecraft is always in the field of view of one of the tracking stations. The ITU, that's the UN, sets aside various frequency bands for deep space and near Earth use. Deep space to start at a distance. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? So those of you in the secret space program, anyone telling you that you can't prove it, what am I doing? You want to see the distance? Are you ready for the distance? This is how they define deep space. Deep space to start at a distance of 2 million kilometers from the Earth's surface.
Wow.
Or 1.2 million miles.
1.2 million miles. Oh my God, that's far.
We have a clear definition for deep space. Watch this. The NASA Deep Space Network can both send and receive in all the ITU, that's the UN agencies that defines how to use these signals in space. S-band, that's 2 to 4 gigahertz. X-band, 8 gigahertz. K-band, 32 gigahertz. Now here's where it gets really crazy. Rainetta, now, The super soldiers have said multiple times, we are used as weapons of war. But how are you going to prove it? Enter the military bands. These are the frequencies used by the military. Are you ready for this? Okay, remember, I am what they call on the S band. S band. Don't lose that. S band is, they have a range of 2 to 4. Okay? Convert the S to a military band. It goes to E. It's under the E band. E band is between 2 to 3 gigahertz. Did everyone catch that? So
Yeah.
commercial, governmental, S band. The military application for the S band is going to be the E band. Okay? Rainetta, what are you saying? Who governs the E band? Okay. Are you watching the screen?
NATO.
What's NATO?
The United Nations, right? NATO.
North Atlantic Treaty Organization. What does NATO do? War.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Military. Global military. But not just Earth. Space. Let me say this again. This is why I repeat myself. The commercial S band is E band military. You understand? It's the same band. But when you convert it to the military, for military application, it's the E band. Okay? Let me show you. NATO E band is a designation given to the radio frequencies 2,000 to 3,000 megahertz. Okay, let's go back to my body. Let's get to megahertz. 2,500. 2,400. I'm on NATO's E band. Do you get that?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's insane.
So when the secret space programs say they are used as weapons, it means that it must have a military application. That military application to be used under the sea, in space, not necessarily on Earth, because remember, these programs are not disclosed. You're following?
Yeah.
Okay. When they say that they are used as weapons, and I don't think I was used as a weapon, I think they just wanted my eggs, whatever. But they have to fall under the military's frequency band. The S band is the commercial application. And when you translate that to the military application, it's the E band, which falls between 2,000 and 3,000 megahertz, which all of the signals in my body fall under. Yes, Stanton, you got it. Stanton said, but NATO is a part of the Reich. Yes, and who do you think controls the planetary corporations? Nazis. Yeah. The planetary military corporation is the Fourth Reich. Oh, Stanton, I'm going to come to the Romulans. Oh, let me just hurry up and go through this. Okay. Let me hurry up and go through this. I'm going to get to Star Trek. Okay. Now watch this. You see?
Yeah, Dan. That's Dan Armstrong. He's very knowledgeable to Stanton. He's awesome. I like him a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah. He's good.
He's a part of my Discord group. He's a you know him. You know him. Sorry. Yeah. He's been on the Arkeem's podcast a lot lately too. But he's
Yeah,
very knowledgeable. You know, he's very astute. You know.
yeah, yeah. And that's great that he called out Starfleet, because I'm going to show you some crazy stuff with Starfleet. I'm going to show you some crazy stuff that Starfleet is not a TV show. So when they talk about being militarized, enter NATO. And this is the signal that should be coming out of their bodies. Commercial is the S band, military is the E band. Okay? Right there. NATO. NATO is the military for the interplanetary corporations. That is your Reich, your fourth Reich. I just proved it. And I'm showing you the signals, the NATO signals coming off my body. Right there.
Wow.
Okay. All right. So let's move forward. We went through that. I just proved that. Okay. We did the S band. Okay. These are some of the corporations. I'll post you the link because we got to go through stuff. Hold on.
Yeah, I got about 20 minutes left because I got another show too. But
let me send you the link so you can find the corporations that are running signals through your body. And for me, it's all the S band, where you find the S band between no higher than 3,000 megahertz. These are the corporations, right? Now, watch this. We did that. Let me show you a couple of things here really quickly.
But I'm just saying, if we have to go over, it's fine because this is important. I think I can send a message, and say I'm going to be late, so it's fine.
Okay.
This is really important stuff.
Yeah, I'm already done, but I just want to show you this. This is what you need. This is something really important for the militarization, right? Okay, you want to know
this with your phone, guys. If you're a super soldier, take a picture of this with your phones or screenshot it with your computer.
Yeah. Okay, now look at this. The G2, this is a classification, right, in the Federal Register. Okay? It's a classification on the Federal Register. Now, I fall literally between 2,400 and 3,000, right? Let me show you. 2,400 and 3,000, right? In the bands, 216 to 225 megahertz, 420 to 450 megahertz, 890, 902 megahertz, 928, 942 megahertz. I'm showing you when the super soldiers say they've been militarized, this is what you need to prove it. Okay, 1,300 to 1,390 megahertz, 2,310 to 2,319 megahertz, 2,417 to 2,450 megahertz. What does it say? The Federal Radio Location Service is limited to the military.
Wow.
Meaning, let me break it down. If they find this signal in your body, you are an asset to the military. I will show you the military signal in my body. You see here, 2417 to 2450. The U.S. military asset is here. Boom, U.S. military. I have never joined the military. I've never fought in war. Why do I have both NATO and U.S. military frequencies coming off my body that is also tied to deep space research? Interplanetary research. Did you guys see that? You can go over the video because there's some stuff I want to show you that's connected to television programs. Okay, really quickly, NTIA FCC allocations reports. This is important. Brain imaging for ritual abuse. Many of them claim that because they were ritually abused, that you can't prove it. That's Not true. Okay? Hold on. Let me just show you the research now. Hold on. Right here. Sorry. Okay. Brain scans and ritual abuse. Let me make this bigger. 9 times out of 10, the victims say it's some sort of satanic MK Ultra that occurred. And then they say, okay, we can't prove it. No. Yes, you can. Ritual abuse is a form of psychological and physical trauma, profound effects on the brain and its functioning. Brain scans, particularly MRI and MRS, can help researchers and clinicians understand the neural mechanisms underlying ritual abuse. You can prove the ritual abuse.
Wow.
Which is the bedrock for the programming. Which is the bedrock for the programming, because the brain is altered. It's altered physically in the white and gray matter, and it's altered chemically. You can prove it. Let me show you. Structural and functional changes, altered brain structure, changes in the volume, that's how big the brain is, and shape of brain regions such as amygdala, hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, which are involved in emotional processing, memory, and regulation. Dysfunctional brain activity. They can prove this. Okay? Abnormal patterns of activities in these regions, potentially contributing to symptoms like anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. You can prove satanic ritual abuse. Okay? MRI scans can detect changes in brain chemistry, altered neurotransmitter levels, decreased levels of neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, which regulate mood, motivation, emotional response. Increased glutamate, an excitatory neurotransmitter that can contribute to hyperarousal and anxiety. So you can prove satanic ritual abuse with brain scans, which is the bedrock of these programs. Okay? All right. This, if you want to read this publication from the National Institutes of Health, which I read, you can read it here, and this proves how you can prove abuse and what parts of the brain are affected. Right? Okay, now, really quickly, I want to show you guys this. Oops, wrong one. I want to show you right here. This is something, this is burn marks when I tried to shut down the body area controller, okay, which is a power generator. It's not a regular implant. It's just a whole, it's literally like a reactor, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a power source, right? So I went to a guy, a Nazi, because the only people who know how to shut these things down are Nazis, right? And I ended up getting these burn marks. Okay, it doesn't look like this anymore, but it's still burn marks, right? Now, this is the burn marks on my belly on the right. Why does the burn mark on my belly look like the Starfleet Command insignia?
That's crazy.
Okay, Rainetta, you're exaggerating. Okay. You guys see it?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this here. This is the Starfleet for Star Trek. You see this circle here? You see that circle? Those planets under there that form a circle? Under this insignia here, under the shield? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Look at the exact same circle here. Okay? It's a ring of planets that was hiding under my belly. It was a star system that they hid under my belly. Okay, let me show you this one previously. Okay. Don't tell me you can't prove it. Okay. This is a symbol found in Starfleet. This exact symbol is found in Texas on a pyramid in Texas on the forehead of the Queen of Atlantis. This exact symbol. Okay. This is Spock from Star Trek. Spock has, in this episode, Spock has a pyramid on his right cheek.
Oh my God, it's the same. Why is that?
Why do I have the exact same pyramid on my left cheek? This is me, and this is Spock. And in this particular Star Trek, Spock has a black sister.
Wow. So are you saying you have you're a starseed? You're from be like an alien, like from an alien race? Do you think?
No, I don't think that's what they're saying in this series. What they're saying is I'm bonded somehow to this Vulcan.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're a starseed. You're from another planet originally. Like or something like that, because maybe not. Maybe you're an Earthling, but you're bonded to him from the programs, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I think they're saying. That's what I think they're saying. Because he didn't have this in every episode. He had this in the episode when he thought he was going to lose his black sister. Okay? Let me show you something else that's crazy. Okay, hold on. This is what they call the Earth drill. So this angry race of Romulans wanted to destroy the Vulcan planet. This is in Star Trek. I just started watching Star Trek about a month and a half ago. Okay?
What a truth.
Star Trek.
I don't watch it much either. My dad used to watch it back when I was a kid, but I don't watch it that much. I don't watch it at all. I don't, but did you see a lot of truth in it though?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to show you. So I didn't know anything about this because I'm having bleed through. Yes, his sister's name is Michael Burnham in that episode, right? Now this is the series of Star Trek. Well, it's not a series, it's one Star Trek episode that I was watching. And in this episode, they had this earth drill that they would use to inject red matter into the core and then create a black hole, right? This is a picture of the earth drill. Okay. Last year, I had a vision. And this is what I drew. I never watched Star Trek last year.
Wow.
Let me put them side by side.
That's insane. Wow.
I drew this last year. And I drew this as a means of harnessing energy. I did not know this was in the series, in the Star Trek series. The Earth drill, from space to Earth. I drew this last year. Okay, there's way more I can show you, but I think you guys got the point. All right, guys, there ends the presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
I was going to ask. I got to ask you about something personally. There's something going on with me. Like I don't know what it is. Like every night I'm starting to be bothered at like 3 a.m. And someone told me that their entities are coming up through portals and they're loose feeding. Which I don't know if it's entities or the military. But then I thought, I've had that liver problem for a while. It's like I started to feel like my liver was targeted. It's like when I do certain and when it's weird is when I wake up at 3 a.m. and I feel like I'm being manipulated with. It seems like they're targeting that area. So
Okay.
something's going on. It's weird. I mean, I know I'm not crazy. I just don't know what it is. I have no clue, you know?
You are not crazy because I get awakened 3 o'clock in the morning and 5 o'clock in the morning. And I've been speaking to several people, and they're also being awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this is why I made a video explaining to people that, part of the agreement for the technology was to give the entities the grid. That is the electrical grid and the telecommunications grid, okay? And these radar systems, right? These entities at the witching hour between 1 and 5 in the morning, they literally come through the grid because we always have the electricity on, even though all the lights are off. They come through the grid and then they come to vampire on the public.
Oh, and
This is
that's
why
crazy.
people are,
You know what? I have them all my stuff on all night because I listen to radio shows throughout the night. I listen to binaural beats and all kinds of shit. You know what
no,
I mean?
no, no, no,
So
no, 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 no. You need to go radio silent as much as possible. You need to start taking silver, and more than likely, you're probably anemic, even though you're a man. You need to take iron pills for anemia because it sounds like you're being vampired on, and the vampires are literally hiding in the grid. That is exactly what is going on.
it seems
Some
like
of
they
this,
come up. I sleep on this futon on the ground. It seems like something's coming up from a portal underneath and the whole thing shakes. I know that sounds crazy. It's
no, it's
weird.
not.
And it almost sometimes feels like I'm almost taken off and astral traveling. And I don't know if that's just my body because like my whole body will start shaking too. And I can't figure out what this is. It's so bizarre. I'm telling you. And people ask me like why I look tired during shows and
Mhm.
stuff. This is what it is. I just realized this has been going on for a long time. And they're doing something to where they're targeting my liver. I've had to take supplements for my liver, and then mainstream medical told me it's fatty liver. But then also what was weird is like, I've been getting energy healings done for my friends, and they've been healing my liver, and the pain keeps coming back. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
it's like it's weird. It's like they're doing. I don't know. I had to
Okay.
ask
So
you about
Rob,
that.
so
Yeah,
before you take supplements for your liver, you should be doing a liver cleanse. Okay.
I did one.
Uh,
It didn't. Yeah. Okay.
no, no,
Sorry.
no, no. You got to do a thorough liver cleanse. One time, the amount of poisons that they inundate us with in the United States, one liver cleanse, like it's like people say, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to do one herbal bath." I'm like, no, it's a continuous thing. You got to do it. You got to do the cleanse and replenish. Do the cleanse and replenish, and you got to do it for like a 6 month period of time. Okay,
Yeah.
number one, because your liver goes, you go. Okay, number one. Number two, there are many people on social media like Brighteon. Like I don't like BitChute anymore because it's just trash and garbage there. But like BitChute, it's become trashy. It has. But BitChute, who make videos showing you that between 1 and 5 in the morning, they absolutely radiate the United States from underground. Okay. And like I told you guys in a previous live stream, that it's not directed energy weapons, it's directed entity weapons because it's the entities that are putting off the energy, right? So, one of the things you have to go and detox and replenish, not just replenish, but detox, replenish, and you got to do that for a period of time. This is not medical advice. Okay. Number two, they are radiating at us at night. So one of the things you need to do is you need to do night shielding. Me, it's difficult for me because I have technology in my body. So no matter what I do, I can't shield. I have to have surgery to remove the controllers, right? That's the second thing you could do. And the third thing you need to do is, they didn't give the military and the government all these technologies because they love them so much. They had to turn over something. And what they turned over was us. Okay. What they turned over was us. And this is why I absolutely hate what this truther movement has become. It's nothing but a bunch of bullshit because they're not telling the people the truth. Like you can't vote your way out of this. People need to realize what's really going on. And you cannot vote your way out of technological alien slavery. You need to wake up People need to wake up and realize how far we've gone. I hope that answered your question.
Would it be okay if I message you privately about some of this stuff?
Yeah,
Because like, I don't ever want to bother you. I only message you about shows and stuff, because I know
yeah,
you're busy. But like, like it was weird. Like like even like I could tell I was being radiated because the hair on my
yeah,
legs wasn't growing. So I started taking
yeah,
sea iodine, and that was
yeah,
like replacing the. It started making my hair grow back. But
yeah,
that made me
yeah.
think that I was like, what the fuck are they doing? They coming through my modem with radiation or something?
Yes, they're
Like,
coming through your modem, your router, the electrical wiring. You cannot sleep with your laptop on. When people stopped watching television and people stopped listening to radio, all of the mind control technologies that was in the television and in the radio, they transferred it to computers and cell phones. You cannot sleep with these things on.
yeah,
You have to go radio silent and you have to sleep in pitch black darkness. Okay.
okay,
And you have to power down your laptop all the way, and you have to remove your cell phone away from you. Put
yeah,
it in another room. Okay.
okay,
And it has to be powered off, even though there's no such thing as turning off our cell phones any longer, because they don't allow you to take out the batteries anymore. When people got hip to cell phones being a weapon, they started taking out the batteries, and then they started making them where you can't take out the batteries. So you have to go radio silent, and you'll see the difference. And then you got a shield. Any other
yeah.
questions?
I was just
Did
gonna
I?
say, do you
Okay.
want to promote your trip? Do you want to promote your trip with James and stuff? I don't know if you're
Yeah,
doing that.
sure. Yeah, sure. But before I do that, I think we have like 4 more minutes. Before I do that, do you have to go right now? You have like 2 minutes?
I told her I was going to be a little bit late, and she said no worries, so she's okay with
Okay.
that.
Okay, no problem. Really quickly, did everyone see the framework of how the secret space program is conducted? Did I succeed in showing you guys how it's done and
Yes.
what to look for and what to do? Wonderful. Okay, so next year, April 27th to May 5th, next year, James and James is the premier super soldier researcher, and I are going to be doing the Titans of Atlantis tour in Texas. Titans of Atlantis tour, it's going to be 9 days and it's going to be incredible. So guys, save your money. Please, we're really, really, really hoping that we're just looking for like 10 people to come. It's going to be 14 people altogether, but we want 10 people to book, okay? Because we want to make sure we curate the tour so that we can really, really, really hone in on these mountains, these pyramids, these ancient sites, and the experience that people have with it. Yes, it's called Titans of Atlantis Tour.
I love that name.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and it's going to be the 23rd. Also, we're going to be doing fundraising to get Rob to come. Okay, so James and I are going to do that. Yeah, so you want to do a fundraising for Rob to come to the Texas tour, and then there's a core group who's going to be going to another state to see some even crazier sites that's in this area, right? So 9 people, we're looking for 9 people to sign up, and that's what we're working on. So guys, I really hope that I helped you guys today prove the secret space program. Sorry about that. I really hope that I helped you guys today and showed you guys how you can prove the brain damage caused by satanic ritual abuse, how you can prove the bodily damage done by ritual abuse. Okay, you can prove it, and also how the secret space program and the corporations actually use you in space. If you want to meet me, if you want to reach me, that's my website. Reach me, message me, yada, yada, yada. Love to everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rainetta. This was amazing. Honestly, this was really amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, really.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Thank you. Love you guys. Love each other. Anyone telling you about division and racial division and gender division, all this foolishness, run from these guys. Not only that, the truther community, listen to me carefully. You will hardly find truth in this truther community. My advice to you guys is focus on healing your inner trauma and expanding your consciousness. Okay, the truther community has been taken over and is being dismantled. Don't get caught up in it. Okay, love yourself, love each other. Peace out.
All right. See you guys. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. I have another show. All right. See you later. Thank you guys. Thank you, everyone.